youngsters nitpicked everything. In the 9 months since she'd taken the job as nanny, she'd learned to be specific when setting parameters for them. Apparently, she hadn't been specific enough. How her friends in the Harmony Creek Spinsters Club would laugh when she told them about this. They were getting together that evening to attend the second annual Berryfest dinner to benefit the local volunteer fire department. She wondered if her friends had guessed that she told them less than a quarter of the adventures her charges got into each day. She tried to head the kinder off before they were hurt, but didn't want to hover over them. Being overprotective wasn't good for anyone. She knew that too well.
"Sarah!"
Natalie stamped her foot.
"Did you hear me?"
"Just a minute." Frowning at the younger kinder, she ordered, "No more getting on the columns anywhere."
"From floor to ceiling?"
asked Ethan. "And everywhere in between. No getting on the columns. Understood?" Ethan and Mia glanced at each other, then nodded.
"Sarah!"
Natalie crossed her arms over her bright red t-shirt.
"Sarah, are you listening?"
Watching the two little ones skipping across the fancy rug that cost more than the farm where she lived with her two brothers, Sarah sighed. She faced the impatient 10-year-old who'd inherited her mam's glistening black hair and gray eyes. Someday, Natalie would be a beauty like her mam, but with her lips compressed, she looked like the kind she was. "I'm listening." Sarah smoothed her black apron that had gotten bunched against her dark green dress when she'd kept Ethan from falling. For a moment, she wondered what Alexander, the fourth Summer Hayes youngster, was up to. She would check once she listened to Natalie. Checking her cap was in place, she asked, "What's up, Natalie?"
"Did someone order a cowboy?"
Stunned, she stared at the girl. "Why would you ask me that?"
"Because there are cowboys on the porch."
She struggled not to frown. The kinder had played plenty of pranks on her when she first began working for Mr. and Mrs. Summer Hayes. Childish, practical jokes like a whoopee cushion beneath her and spiders in her glass. She'd laughed along with them until they'd stopped. Or she'd thought they had. When she'd been offered the job, she'd seen it as a gift from God. It provided her with an open window into English lives, allowing her to learn what she'd need to know if she decided to move away from the Harmony Creek settlement. Her stomach clenched. She didn't want to leave her brothers, or the wunderbar friends she'd made since they moved to northern New York last year. But being baptized meant surrendering her dream of helping others. That dream had been born the day she went to visit her dad in the hospital after a serious barn accident. He'd lost his right arm, and she guessed he might have given up if it hadn't been for the nurses and physical therapists who'd believed in him. Watching them, she'd decided she wanted to learn to do such work, but that would be impossible if she became a full member of the Amish church. However, a job like a volunteer EMT might be allowed.
"Natalie,"
she began.
"There are cowboys out there,"
insisted the girl.
"If you don't believe me, look for yourself."
Sarah took a quick glance at the top of the wide door to make sure someone hadn't rigged a bucket of water on it. The fancy door was hinged in the middle, and she kept a close eye on the other side, just in case. The August heat battered her like an open oven door.
"See?"
demanded Natalie. Lowering her gaze from the door's top, Sarah gasped when she saw who stood on the wide porch. A cowboy. A real, live cowboy. She stared in disbelief at his wide-brimmed straw hat that looked as if it had been plucked out of one of her brother Menno's Zane Grey novels. Though the day was warm, he wore a long-sleeved light green shirt and denims. His black western boots had scuffed toes. Sun-streaked brown hair fell forward into the bluest eyes she'd ever seen, bluer than a cloudless summer sky. "Ma'am?"